All right, welcome to the Sweet Science of Fighting Jiu-Jitsu instructional channel. We have myself, James, and Ryan. But today we're going to take you through the next part of the ankle lock series, covering the Aoki Lock. Now, make sure you go down in the description. You can actually ask Ryan questions directly. In the Sweet Science of Fighting Underground, you can submit your footage for breakdowns. You can also get access to all the strength and conditioning programs down there.
So we're going to do the devastating Aoki Lock. This is actually, honestly, I hadn't seen this. I probably saw this about 5 years ago. So I hadn't seen it before then. So I don't really know when this actually, who actually kind of started doing this. But I guess it was Aoki. His name. I don't know when he started doing it, but
Not the DJ.
Yeah, not the DJ. But I really started to see this used to counter someone doing an ankle lock on you. This is actually technically where I find it used most. So I might cover that with the actual Aoki attack, but I'll show you where it's actually used most efficiently, and it's most efficient in a counter leg attack. So we're going to go to the ankle lock position. So before we talked about the pillow part of the arm and the blade part of the arm. We had two submissions, so we had the blade submission and the pillow submission. With the pillow submission, I was talking about putting the heel onto the rib, kind of hiding the heel, right? So if you look behind me, you wouldn't be able to see the heel because it's on my rib. The Aoki we just push past that. Okay, so I'm gonna push the. I basically say I want to uppercut myself and I want to sink myself back. So I'm gonna sink my chest back and do an uppercut. And when I uppercut, you'll see that now the heel is more centered on my chest. Okay, so you can see here when I uppercut, the heel center on my chest. Now remember the rule, I was talking about the triangle rule with the foot, where to attack the foot. I'm targeting the Achilles, and I'm targeting his big toe in my armpit. Once I have this position, I'm going to lock it up just with a genie grip. And all I need to do is just really lean to the right, and that'll be a tap. It's technically an inside heel hook with the leg on the outside, simply put. The issue with this, producing the Aoki from an ashigarami position is the legs. Okay, so a lot of times to defend this, he can actually just start to lift up and start to cross over. If I lean this direction and cross over my legs, okay. This obviously is a bit of a defense. He can turn this direction. He can rotate. If I don't have control of his hips. There are many variations to controlling the hips here. I've seen different methods used. I've even seen short method here, crossing over to throw the leg over top. So the first thing we'll talk about is just the crossing the leg over. So I'm going to cross my leg over towards his knee. And what this does is it gives a little bit of a control on his on his leg for him to start to cross over. And my left foot is actually hooking as a butterfly hook here. And now if he starts to move, it just happens too fast. The Aoki is it happens very, very quickly. It's even faster than the inside heel hook, in my opinion. It's just a really quick move. So when you're practicing this, go really, really, really slow. Because if I were actually fall to the mat, it would hurt his knee for sure. If you have everything correct. So don't do that. Just kind of like slowly move your way to the mat, to the side, because you can actually hurt your partner when you're practicing this. So when I uppercut here and I get this, my next step is just to make sure that I can prevent him from actually spinning or bouncing over my foot and trying to release this pressure. So one of the other methods we can use is kicking the leg out this direction, right? And now he can't go and then snap. We break the leg. So it's anything, we can get really creative with this, right? I've seen guys use it like butterfly hooks to get extension. I've seen crossing over to double outside ashi position to try to stop the rotation. So if he does make the rotation, I'm still stuck to him. If I were to get to this, I would not encourage him to try to spin, obviously. This is not encouragement to spin. This is no good, right? And it's only encourageable to rotate or to step over if I haven't closed off this position in some fashion, right? So in other words, if I go like this, it's clearly he's gonna have to move that direction. He knows which way he has to move because it hurts. So just make sure that when you're doing this Aoki, what I want you to do is make sure you're always uppercutting as tight as you can, right? This is what causes the break. If I get lazy like this and my arm drops, it hurts, and I'm able to produce something, but somebody good, they're just going to get out of this, okay? So make sure when you do this, you uppercut as tight as you can. It's almost a tap if you just do this and he doesn't move, right? And his big toe, notice where it's at. That's the perfect spot for most of your heel hooks and your inside heel hooks and your Aokis. I'm pinching those toes, and then I'm uppercutting. I reinforce by lifting everything up here, sorry. And then I close up the position and I just rotate this direction. So these are some methods you can use to finish the Aoki position from the Ashigarami. I just want to make a quick note to where I have found it used the most efficiently I've seen it used is a counter leg attack. Honestly, I don't, a lot of times I don't even go to Ashigarami position with somebody that's good at leg locks. I won't even go to Ashigarami position because I know that the Aoki is there and I'm trapped. So what that looks like is if James puts me into an Ashigarami position, okay, and we're here, understand rotational will always beat straight. Okay, so straight ankle lock, I can fight it a little bit because I can bend my leg up and I can put the boot on and I can really flex my foot and try to prevent my foot from bending down. Rotational, there's not much. If I start to do a heel hook and rotate his leg, this is the knee. And from my understanding, there's not a ton of muscle on the side of the knee here, mostly ligaments, but I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. I just know that rotation typically wins out over straight ankle, okay? So when this happens, he's giving me Aoki, all right? So anytime somebody throws up an ankle lock here, and a lot of times I'll bait this position, okay? And we can talk about a little bit of defense here for the ankle lock, but first I want to address this. When this happens, I'm not looking to push the foot down and bounce over. This is classic old school, and it works for sure. I push the foot down, I bounce over, or I can turn, whatever. I actually want to stay in this position. So he throws the ankle, I'm going to scoop down, and now I'm in an Aoki, okay? I lock in, he's stuck to me. He's holding that, and then we go ahead and go. I'm going to go, and it's going to break his leg. Okay, so, and the reason why he can't really spin out of this and get out of this, he's stuck. He's holding onto my leg. And he has pinching my knees here, and by the time I just do this, then it's going to be a tap. Okay, certainly if I make it to belly down, this will be devastating. So I just want to show that quick counter because it should be in your toolbox for sure, that in the event somebody does like a classic Ashigarami position, that you have the Aoki just to boom to counter it. And at a minimum, they'll abandon the position. I have guys do this to me all the time in the gym. For some reason, I'm going to Ashigarami position. I already know better, but I go there because it's the easiest entry for leg locks. I'll go into Ashigarami position, and immediately they scoop my heel up, and then I have to abandon and go to something else. So just make sure when you're practicing this, remember, don't fall to the side because you could hurt your partner. One other little detail I want to add just for your leg lock defense that'll actually help, just to show real quick. In the event James gets my foot into an ankle lock position, okay? One of the easiest things you can apply to defend an ankle lock, and I use this all the time, and so there can be some timing here. I cannot do a defense here when he's already down going breaking my leg. This is different. But this is fine right here. What I want to do is turn my foot this direction. You'll notice this gives him a heel hook, right? But if you go back to ankle lock, if my foot stays straight here, he's going to ankle lock me. When I turn my foot, he's trying to break my shin, right? This is a very different angle when I turn my foot. What this does is it actually encourages him to go to a heel hook because I'm feeding him the heel. Once he goes to the heel hook, we're in Ashigarami position. This Ashigarami position is an open position, right? Meaning that the legs are not crossed over my hips. So this is quite an easy defense. So he starts to try to heel hook me, I can start to rotate, get up and turn my body, and then now I can start to actually free my knee, okay? I can even push this off, but essentially I would go this direction and start to control the legs and get here. And there's back attacks and things I can start to produce, and even he can start to attack my back. But I just want to show from this angle here, if you look at it here, and he has my foot in a straight ankle position. If you see my foot here, and he has the ankle lock, I'm going to turn my foot this way. Once he goes for the heel, now I can rotate and move, twinkle toe my feet, and retract, and try to go into a running escape. It's a very, very, very simple method to defending a straight ankle lock from a basic Ashigarami position. And you can actually use this once you get really comfortable with this position. You can actually use this to actually enter into counterattacks. So if we were to start to roll and we slap bump, boom, boom, and then I would go like this, I'd feed him my leg. And I'd come in sideways. They're going to grab my leg most likely, and here is where I can actually start to go into and attack his legs. So counterattacks on toe holds. I can start to produce the positions to maybe start to scoop his leg. This is a good counterattack as well, once you get comfortable with that. So Just wanted to throw it out there for your ankle lock defense because it's very, very simple, but very, very useful. And by the way, I'm not going to say it's going to not be painful. When you turn your foot like this, they're still going to be cranking like they want to do an ankle lock here, but instead of their foot being on the Achilles, it's going to be across your shin. So, I mean, you know, if you ever banged your shin on something, it kind of sucks, but it's not going to break your leg. There's a difference between pain and then breaking pain, right? So this is kind of painful, but they'll immediately switch to a heel hook because your heel is sticking out. And that's generally what you want them to do, so then you can rotate. That's going to be for the basic ankle lock defense.